Hello and welcome back to the Labyrinth of Grisaia, Yumiko's route. In the last episode, Yumiko got to explain to Yuuji what the reasoning behind her seeking the help in her classmates and dorm mates' level of expertise, despite them being rather awkward. Like being taught affection by Machina, or being taught how to be a Sundara by Michiru. Yuuji accepted that Yumiko she really wanted was normalcy. And now it seems that plans are in motion regarding the school's secret funds. Let's continue.
Anyway, that's what we'd like to propose as a potential use for the school's remaining operational funds. Can we get your opinion as the principal?
Let's see. Personally, I don't dislike the plan, and as long as we follow the proper procedures, it shouldn't be that difficult to carry out.
It doesn't look like you're completely on board, though.
It's not that I have a problem with your proposal, I'm just surprised. Even with you taking the lead, I wasn't expecting everyone to reach a consensus so quickly.
I can't really comment on that myself. Maybe your policy of fostering harmony between your students has finally paid off, Chizuru.
I'd be very happy if that was the case, but to be honest, I was hoping to accomplish something much simpler than that.
Something simpler?
Yes. I wanted this academy to be a place where you could learn about each other's circumstances and still be friends.
Friends, huh?
Given that we can't just erase our past, misfits like us need to find people who can understand and accept us. In that sense, I was damn lucky that the person who took me in all those years ago was a woman as absurd as Kusakabe Asako. When you're around someone who knows that indifference or superficial kindness aren't going to solve your problems, it gets a lot easier to start moving forward. Chizuru was probably trying to create an environment like that for us.
In that case, I think you can hold your head high.
Huh? What do you mean?
You'll probably understand soon enough.
There you go again, ruthlessly teasing your own principal.
That's not what I...
There's no need for excuses. I know exactly what kind of person you are, Kasami-kun.
Okay then. Mind if I get this conversation back on track?
This is exactly what I'm talking about, you know.
You say something?
Nothing at all.
Seems like I stepped on another landmine at some point. So it sounds like you are alright with our proposal, Chizuru. Does that mean I have the principal's official approval?
Yes, I'll immediately move forward with the necessary formalities to adopt your plan.
I see.
I was half expecting her to turn me down, but I guess it all worked out somehow. You certainly look pleased with yourself.
What?
You're smirking a bit, you know.
Can't deny I was feeling happy, but I didn't know I was smiling.
Brushing my fingers experimentally against my cheeks, I take the sip of tea that Chizuru prepared for us. I don't mind you taking a breather, now that the matter's settled, but you shouldn't be wasting too much time here, right?
What do you mean? I'm off work today.
Yes, but I understand you've got an appointment with Sakage-san instead.
Okay, Chizuru, why do you know this?
You really shouldn't underestimate the Girl Talk Intelligence Network, Kasami-kun.
Before we get into that, I need to question whether you really qualify as a girl at this point.
Oh, that was pretty mean. I'm still comfortably within the girl category, thank you very much.
She's definitely got less tolerance for the age-related jokes these days.
Are you already done speaking with the principal? Beating a hasty retreat from Chizuru's office, I find Yumiko standing by in the hallway outside.
What? Are you waiting for me?
Yes, I was planning to wait in my room at first, but I just couldn't help myself.
I have to admit, it's nice to hear that. Still, I don't think it took more than 15 minutes.
Well, I was also worried you might start flirting around with the principal.
Didn't quite catch that. Something about Chizuru?
It's nothing. Let's hurry back to the dorm and get ready to go.
Right. Sounds like a plan. Guess I can just wear my school uniform, right?
After Yumiko pulls me by the arm back to the dorm, I end up just waiting for her in my room, rather than changing into the clothes I bought while we were on the run. Normally going out with your girlfriend warrants dressing up a little, but that doesn't necessarily apply to Yumiko. Unless I'm very much mistaken, she's probably going to show up wearing her school uniform.
Come in.
Sorry to keep you waiting, Yuuji. When I reply to her knock, Yumiko enters my room dressed exactly as I expected.
Well done, Yumiko.
Dropping my hands onto her shoulders, I offer my sincere praise. Why are you praising me for entering your room exactly?
I'm praising your attitude with regard to this date.
Are you referring to the fact that I'm wearing my uniform? In that case, you're being silly. We're still students of Mihama Academy, so it's only natural that we wear its uniform for ordinary trips outside.
Exactly. That's Sakaki Yumiko for you. Mihama's most sensible woman.
I don't really understand, but I'm glad that you approve. Blushing slightly, Yumiko adjusts the positions of the tote bag hanging from her shoulder.
That bag doesn't look like it has your art supplies in it.
Right, I thought we could eat by the riverbank after I sketched there, so I packed us lunches.
I'm on board with that plan, but you can't sketch without any supplies, can you?
I was thinking we could go buy some new ones, actually.
Are your old ones not good enough anymore?
Not really, but since we're going out together, I thought it might be nice to spend a little time shopping.
I see.
While the two of us were on the run, Yumiko was almost never able to leave our apartment. Going out shopping together would definitely be a nice change of pace.
I know I left the plan for today up to you, but it seems like you put some real thought into it.
Of course I did. I'm the one who insisted, so I couldn't very well disappoint you.
I'm looking forward to seeing what else you've got up your sleeve. Why don't we get going?
With that said, I head toward my door, but... Wait another 10 minutes, please. Yumiko blocks my path and a surprising display of agility.
Do you still have something to take care of before we go?
No, that's not it. Amane and Irisu-san are in the lobby getting ready to head out.
Is that some kind of problem?
Are you serious? It's a huge problem. I know exactly what's going to happen if we run into those two outside. They'll tease me ruthlessly. Oh, what's this, going on a date, huh? Geez, Yumiten, you're such a greedy girl.
You're really overthinking this, Yumiko.
Overthinking? Well, I suppose I wouldn't even have considered this a year ago. But you're aware of the numerous humiliations they've subjected me to over the last few days, right?
You do have a point there.
Setting aside the question of whether those were really humiliations, it wasn't easy consoling Yumiko after she got all sulky. Basically, I'd like to eliminate any factors that could possibly disrupt our date.
In that case, what about the people who already know of our plans?
Well, the principal shouldn't be a problem. She probably found out because I called up Haruderas to thank her.
Wait, you called JB? Don't tell me.
Exactly. Now that she knows we're going on a date, it's going to be much more awkward for her to get in touch with you if something urgent comes up.
True enough, but you're really thinking like a villain here, Yumiko.
Today has to be perfect, you know. I'd sell my soul to the devil to make that happen. Yumiko might actually make a pretty decent mafia boss. Looking at the wicked smile on the girl's face, it's hard to think otherwise. Okay then, let's start off by buying those art supplies.
Right.
Leaving my room precisely 10 minutes later, we head for the station area at the leisurely pace of a married couple taking a stroll. I glance over at Yumiko every once in a while, but she's gazing at the scenery with such a lively look on her face that I can't really bring myself to start a conversation. What? Is there something on my face?
Not really. I know the day's just getting started, but I'm reassured to see you looking so happy.
Well, what did you expect? I've really been looking forward to this, you know. A bit embarrassed by her own words, Yumiko bashfully averts her eyes. That expression packs a serious punch. A part of me is already starting to think about when I can apply for another day off. It's kind of nice to get Yuuji in the lovey-dovey kind of moment where he's all like calm and cool and collected in pretty much any situation. So yeah, this is great. Stop here for a moment. As we're approaching the station area, Yumiko stops abruptly in her tracks at the end of a small side street.
Do we have trouble?
We're about to enter a heavily trafficked area, so I want to make sure it's safe. Answering my question in a whisper, Yumiko presses her back against the alley wall and peers cautiously out at the main street. All clear. I don't see anyone we know. Let's proceed to the shop.
Roger that.
Yumiko's tone of voice is so serious all of a sudden that I reflexively respond in kind. Hey, Mommy, what are those people doing? Shh, quiet, Markun. Just pretend they aren't there. Everyone in our vicinity appears to be looking at us rather suspiciously. Can't really blame them, I suppose. Our uniforms stand out in this crowd, and we are behaving pretty oddly.
Look, Yumiko, I do understand how you feel, but maybe we could relax a little.
No need to worry. Once we get inside the shop itself, we should be able to let down our guard.
Hope you're right about that.
Wow, the selection's much better now than it was a year ago. Once we enter the art supply store in question, Yumiko instantly forgets about her paranoia and returns to normal. Seems like she can't quite manage to contain her enthusiasm in a place that caters so thoroughly to her hobby. They've even got red Sable's brushes. Murmuring to herself, Yumiko strokes one of the sample paintbrushes on display with her fingertips.
Red Sable, huh? Aren't those high-end brushes made from weasel hair?
Yes, that's right. I'm surprised you knew that.
I do know a bit more about art than the average person, thanks to my sister. She used to teach me things while I was watching her paint.
Come to think of it, your sister was quite a skilled artist, wasn't she? You said she was winning prizes in competitions.
Yeah, she won a few contests, and her work was selling highly for a while. Didn't last very long, though.
I see.
Anyway, do you more or less know what you're looking for?
Yes. Apparently noticing that I don't really enjoy talking about my sister, Yumiko allows me to change the topic. I was planning on doing a watercolor landscape instead of a sketch today, so I'm looking to buy a round brush. But I can't quite decide between my usual squirrel hair brush or these red sable ones. They're less cost effective, but they let you add some truly delicate details to your work.
I see. I guess it depends on your priorities, huh?
Just out of curiosity, which would you choose?
Well, let's see.
I did not expect... I'm pretty sure I'd go with the squirrel hair brush, personally. I'm all about the red sable for sure! Huh? Why? As two interlopers abruptly wedged their way into our conversation, Yumiko's face stiffens with shock. Well, you don't have to feel too nervous about using cheap stuff, right? And a familiar compact card is way easier to handle than some brand new 4WD monster. Sure, but it ain't like Yuuji's a beginner, you know. I bet trying out something new would be pretty cool too. That is not what I meant. Why are you here, Amane, and you, Iri-san? Well, I think Makina got influenced by something on TV again. She started shouting, "The canvas is calling to me," and all of a sudden... So we moseyed on over to the nearest art store. I was part of the good pal Yuuji in a bit of a dilemma and offered some helpful advice. So when you mentioned a shopping trip in the lobby earlier... Yep, I was talking about buying some oil painting supplies with Makina. I see, so that's it. Her voice now thoroughly listless, Yumiko hangs her head and mutters something about her carelessness. For all the effort she spent to avoid accidentally meeting Amanda and Makina on the street, she clearly didn't consider the possibility their destination might be the same as ours.
Well, Yumiko, we heard their opinions. Which brush are you going for?
Let's see, this is my first artistic effort in a while, so I think I'll go with the squirrel hair. Okay then, take my card up while you're at it. You expect me to pay? Installments! Installments? Sorry about that, Yumiko. I'll pay for Makina's stuff later, okay? Well, in that case... With clear reluctance on her face, Yumiko heads for the registers with Makina in tow. Hey, Yuuji, are we... Sort of in the way here, maybe?
Considering that we're in the middle of a date, I guess you could say that, but we ran into each other coincidentally. There's no need to feel awkward about it.
Thanks. That makes me feel a little better.
I have to say I was pretty surprised to see you two in an art store, though.
Speaking of surprises, it's a little weird to hear you say the word date.
I know it's a little out of character, but Yumiko's been putting in a lot of effort lately. I wanted to do something for her.
Well, Yumiko's definitely been working her butt off for you, so I guess you kinda owe her a reward.
For me?
Sure, I know she says it's about overcoming her weaknesses, but she's learning how to cook and clean, you know. It's obviously for you. If you think about it, these lessons are basically a housewife training course.
Housewife training, huh?
You've given marriage some thought by now, right?
Yeah, haven't made any concrete decisions, but at this point, I can't imagine spending my life with anyone else.
Right, it's reassuring to hear you say that. Yumiko's a sweet girl who's willing to give her all for the man she loves. You better make her happy, okay?
That's the plan, of course.
Just as my conversation with Amana reaches its conclusion, Yumiko and Makina return with plastic bags dangling from their hands. Alright, I got my beginner's oil painting jumpstarter kit, just as planned. I've also purchased everything I need.
In that case, I suppose we're ready to go.
I suppose we are. Now I just have to pray I'm not hopelessly rusty. Does that mean you guys are gonna go do a little painting somewhere? Yes, painting at the riverbank was our main objective for the day, actually. Gotcha. In that case, I guess we'll see you two. Huh? Just as Amanda is attempting to be considerate, Makina raises an eyebrow, her attention apparently caught by something or other.
What's wrong, Makina?
I can sense it. Sense what? The smell of toasted sugar and eggs, the fragrance of fresh cream. There gotta be a crepe truck in the vicinity. A crepe truck? Yumiko perks up her ears at that. The girl's always had a bit of a sweet tooth. They keep filling the air with that delectable aroma. I can't take it no more, man. Oh, Makina. Wait, Makina! Before the words can even leave Amana's mouth, Makina's bolted out of the stores and set off running down the street.
You alright with this, Amana? Unless you do something, that pudgy little face of hers is going to get even rounder.
I've been adjusting her calorie intake, so she hasn't gotten many sweets lately. Can't blame her this time, really. Well, guess that's settled. Let's go, Yumiko. Wait,
Suppose you can't expect young women to show restraint when sweets are involved.
Ooh, Yuuji, you are running a very thin line there. Hey there, I'll have the usual, Makina-sized. The usual, Makina-sized? Following my three classmates down the street, I find Makina placing her order while pretending to open an imaginary sushi bar curtain. I really don't think you've been here often enough for them to know your usual. Whoops, my bad. Figured it more important to get into the spirit of things. Sorry about that. Let's see, double cream chocolate banana for her, please, and I'll have a chocolate ghetto with fresh cream. Yes, ma'am, and what would you like, miss? I'm just tagging along, so... Just tagging along? Come on, Yumiko, you're already here, so you might as well order something. You don't have a problem with crepes or anything, right? We would remember in the start of Yumiko's route in The Fruit of Grisaia that she stone-faced looked through a window quite menacingly for 30 minutes, being unable to pick a crepe from a bakery. I certainly don't. If anything, I'm rather fond of them. But it's bad manners to eat in the middle of the street, and even if I did want to order, I'm not sure I could decide which one to choose. Honestly, you always make things more complicated than they need to be. Why don't we let the crepe lady decide for you then? Let's see. I could whip you up one of our special mixed crepes if you like. We only sell 20 per day. Oh, yeah, we'll go with that. Wait, a limited edition special? It'll be fine. The crepes are easy to eat, you know. And if it's too big, you can always have Yuuji help you out.
Sure, don't worry, a little sugar won't ruin my appetite. I'll finish off the lunch you packed either way.
I'm happy to hear you say that, but... Oh, come on, can't hurt to eat something sweet with your girlfriend every once in a while, right? I suppose you're right. I'm technically a girl myself, so there's nothing that strange about me eating a crepe.
Amanda's final remark apparently did the trick. Blushing slightly, Yumiko nods her consent. I find myself recalling a certain early summer day last year when a certain someone stood scowling in front of a crepe shop for a good 30 minutes. Yeah, that was exactly what I was just talking about.
Thanks for your patience, everyone. Thank you.
About 10 minutes later, everyone's orders are finally ready.
Dang, that special's really something, man. This is the first time I've seen it, but wow, that thing's got a ton of calories. Yes, I don't think I've ever seen a crepe this loaded with toppings before.
I can't blame the girls for being surprised. The crepe Yumiko's received is basically a pancake stuffed full of everything you'd expect in a large fruit parfait.
See that, Yuuji? Doesn't it look delicious?
Yeah. It sure is big enough, but too. Might hit the spot after a long day of training. To be honest, just looking at the thing is enough to give me a heartburn. But it's hard to say that when Yumiko's beaming so happily.
Come on, Yumi-chan, take a bite already. Want to hear your thoughts? Review, please? Right, I should eat it while it's still fresh, or it won't be as delicious.
After murmuring encouragingly to herself, Yumiko steals her resolve and takes a big bite out of her massive crepe. And a moment later,
oh my, I hope no one asks me for a favor right now. I don't think I could turn them down.
She's saying some slightly worrisome things with an expression of sheer bliss on her face.
Is it that freaking good? Okay, I'm gonna take me a bite too.
Taking advantage of the fact that Yumiko's distracted, Margaret proceeds to lean over and steal a bite of her crepe.
Hey, wait, it is Susan.
What the heck, man? This thing's crazy delicious!
By the time Yumiko's even aware of her classmate's act of savagery, Margaret's face is already glowing with ill-gotten pleasure.
Of course it is. You ate the best part. After all, I was saving that strawberry for later.
Ooh. For all that hem and horn, sounds like you're actually pretty excited about this.
Naturally, we are talking about a crepe, you know, one of my favorite things in the world.
Wow, listen to you go all of a sudden. I didn't know you liked crepes that much.
I do, but at my previous school we weren't allowed to buy snacks on the way home, so I only had a very few chances to actually eat one.
Ah, so you started off thinking like crepes as these super special treats, basically.
That's right.
Well, anyway, you guys sure make that thing sound amazing. Makes me want to try it too.
Grinning mischievously, Amane proceeds to take a big bite out of Yumiko's crepe.
Oh, come on, even you, Amane?
Sorry, I'll let you have some of mine too, okay?
What? Can I really eat your crepe? Weren't you looking forward to it?
It's not like I'm that attached to mine personally. Don't worry about it. They are just basically talking into eating a crepe. A group of friends sharing food is pretty normal, you know? Everyone does it.
A group of friends, huh?
Did I say something weird?
No, it's nothing. If you insist, then I guess I really will have some.
Yep, here you go, have at it.
Smiling in evident satisfaction, Amane holds out her crepe. Yumiko proceeds to take a sizable bite.
What do you think of Amane's chocolate gacho, Yumi-chan?
It's delectable.
I know, right? On that note, I think I'll have some of Mark and this choco banana next. Okay, then I'll go for another taste of Yumi-chan's special mix.
Why are you going for mine again? If we're sharing equally, you should be taking a bite of Amane's crepe next.
Ah, don't sweat the small stuff.
This isn't small in the slightest.
They're going to eat her crepe. I stand by and watch quietly as the girls continue their lively crepe-themed conversation. If I were to look at this scene through the eyes of a random passerby, it probably wouldn't seem like anything more than 3 young women from the same school killing some time by chattering about their sweets. But even so, if someone were to disrupt this moment, I don't think I'd ever forgive them. For some reason, I really do feel that way.
Good grief, running into a man in ears or something like that
completely threw off our schedule. I was actually planning to look around some other shops after the art supply store. Having split up from our classmates at the station, we're currently making our way over to the river. For all Yumiko's grumbling, she's been talking about those two constantly for the last few minutes. Somehow, I don't think she's being completely honest about her feelings. Just look at my hard-won crepe. Those two ate so much of it that there's barely anything left. She thrust the treat in question out toward me to emphasize her point. To be sure, it's been reduced to a third of its original size. But you ate some of Amani and Martinez, right?
Yes, I made sure to get a good taste. If I had to summarize their appeal, I'd say the chocolate gâteau had a grown-up flavor, whereas the choco banana was more of a cute side of things.
Yumiko's face slowly softens into something like a smile. It seems like she's remembering how it felt to bite into those treats. Just from listening to her describe them, it is evident that Yumiko's zeal for crepes is a bit on the extreme side. Excuse me, Yuuji, I'm talking about how disappointed I am, so why do you look somewhat pleased?
You were disappointed? It didn't sound that way to me.
I am not talking about the crepes. Remember what I was saying before that.
Well, yeah, but running into Amanda and Markina gave you an excuse to try those crepes you've been secretly yearning for, right?
And I'm grateful to them for that, very much so. But that's really not what I'm trying to say. I do understand where Yumiko is coming from. She's obviously wanted the day to be just the two of us. Still, it won't do anyone much good if she's too worried about that to relax and enjoy herself.
I'm happy that you feel that way, but I think it's a little early for regrets. There's still plenty of other stuff left on our itinerary, right?
That's true, the date hasn't even begun until we get to the riverbank, really. Murmuring a bit of encouragement to herself, Yumiko clenches her fist resolutely. It's nice to see her switching gears, I guess, but wouldn't want to drag her around on a date while she's down in the dumps. Oh right, why don't you have some of this crepe as well, Yuuji? You didn't end up ordering anything earlier.
That's true, but are you sure? There won't be much left if I start taking bites.
It's fine, I'm offering because I want you to have some, okay?
Well, I can't really say no to that.
Okay then, here you go. As Yumiko holds out her crepe, I lean over and take a bite. A pleasant sweetness spreads instantly through my mouth. Want a handkerchief?
That's okay. I didn't get any cream on my face.
But you'll need it when the flavor moves you to tears of joy.
Hold on, Yumiko. It's not like I'm a marine who just come home after an extended tour of duty. Weeping over a crepe would be a bit much.
I see. So this taste didn't touch your heart, Yuuji?
Well, I'm not putting it down either. I don't feel the need to cry, but it's definitely delicious.
Isn't it though? The instant she hears me praising the crepe, a smile blooms across Yumiko's face. I'm so glad you liked it too, Yuuji.
Is that really so important?
I don't know what most people would think, but it's important to me. I wouldn't force you to change your tastes, of course. I'm just happy to hear you like the same things as I do.
Oh, I get it.
There's no reason Yumiko and I have to see everything the same way, but it's always nice to discover something we can enjoy together. I think that's what she's getting at, basically. Incidentally, I was planning to have lunch once we arrive at the riverbed. Does that sound alright?
Yeah, not to worry. One bite of crepe isn't going to spoil my appetite.
I'm glad to hear that. I know I'm a bit clumsy in the kitchen, but I put my heart and soul into this lunch. I might have cried if you couldn't finish it.
Wait, what?
The moment I realize Yumiko's gotten a step ahead of me, my stomach clenches up and emits a soft gurgle of fear. You do keep your promises, right, Yuuji?
Yeah, of course.
The look on Yumiko's face is gentle, but her tone of voice is downright cold. Saying no clearly isn't an option here. Oh, Yuuji. There aren't many people around, considering it's a holiday. As we finally arrive at the river, Yumiko looks around at the area and murmurs her thoughts. I can see a few people walking on the roads nearby, but as Yumiko said, the riverbank area itself is mostly completely empty.
Seems just about right to me. It isn't easy to focus on your art when people start playing catch next to you, right?
Yes, but when it is this deserted, I can't help but feeling a little sad.
Right.
This is something of a special place for us, so I think I can understand how Yumiko feels. At least there's a nice breeze today. As we head down to the slope towards the water, Yumiko's hair stirs in the gentle wind. I know we didn't spend all that much time here, but it makes me feel a little nostalgic to see the place again.
Nope. Wrong voice. My bad. I know we didn't spend all that much time here, but it does make me feel a little nostalgic to see this place again.
Looking back on it now, our relationship at that time was certainly peculiar.
Yeah, it was. When the two of us were coming out here a year ago, I was just a bodyguard, and she was just a woman I'd been assigned to protect. All she did out here was silently draw or paint in her sketchbook. I barely ever spoke either. But here we are a year later, returning as partners in a romantic relationship. It's almost comical, really.
I like the throwbacks. Are you planning to lurk behind me and watch in complete silence again?
Well, is your end of the conversation going to consist solely of I'm going to begin and I'm finished?
Yumiko smiles at my joke and shakes her head slightly. Alright, first of all, can you help me lay out our picnic sheet?
Leave everything to me. I'm an old hand at pitching tents and starting fires.
Coming from you, that almost doesn't sound like a joke.
This should be a nice change of pace, right? Can't remember the last time I had a picnic-style lunch.
Yes, by your standards, it was quite the splendid idea. I was quite impressed, Michiru-sama.
By my standards, what's that supposed to mean?
Just as I finished spreading out our picnic sheet, the ominous sounds of two nearby voices catches my attention. And Yumiko's too, apparently.
Okay, then let me unpack our lunch.
Sure, appreciate it. However, Yumiko acts as if she hasn't noticed a thing. I decide to follow her example for now.
Well, we came out this far, so why don't we by the river?
Indeed, if we're lucky, we might even catch a glimpse of an earless seal.
Huh? Seals? We have seals around here?
Of course not. Don't be absurd.
Okay, Sachi, is it really that fun to crush my hopes and dreams?
Absolutely.
That ain't the cue for you to smile!
Even as Yumiko spreads her food out on the sheet, the pair of voices draw steadily closer.
Wait, you see that totally crocheted couple having a picnic over there? Is that Yuuji and Yumiko?
I believe you meant to say cliché, Michiru-sama.
What now, Yumiko? We've been spotted.
Spotted? I'm sorry, Yuuji. I don't have the slightest idea what you could be referring to.
Evidently hoping to avoid a repeat of what happened at the art supply store, Yumiko struggles to maintain her cool. She seems stubbornly determined to pretend she can't hear her classmates' voices.
Here, take a look. I tried making sandwiches today, see? I know I'm not much of a cook, but I figured something this simple couldn't turn out too badly.
I see. Those do look pretty good.
Hey, Yumiko! Yuuji!
Michiru-sama, I hope you'll pardon me saying so, but it might be best not to interrupt them.
I think Yumiko very much agrees with that. Come on, Yumiko, you heard me first just fine, right? What's the big idea?
Why? For pity's sake, why?
What? Now she's yelling right back at me. You're the one who gave me the cold shoulder.
I believe Sakaki-san is asking why you couldn't show a little tact for once in your life. Thank you, Kumina-san. You took the words right out of my mouth. I do my best.
Wait, does that mean you guys are kinda on a date or something?
We aren't kinda on a date. We are right in the middle of one.
Perhaps a little exasperated by Michiru's belated question, Yumiko responds with a fierce glare and some harshly spoken words.
Don't worry, Sakaki-san. Under the circumstances, we will of course go elsewhere.
That's alright. If this was your destination, I don't see why you have to leave.
Yuuji!
Sighing at the reproachful tone of Yumiko's voice, I turn to look her in the eye. Let me ask you this, Yumiko. Do you really want to shoo Michiru and Sachi away? And put the question to her plainly, with a serious expression on my face. Would you really be happy if we forced them to leave just so we could have a little more private, have a more private date?
Well, when you put it like that, probably not.
In that case, I think these two should stay, assuming you're all right with that.
I'm sorry.
Realizing that she took things a little too far, Yumiko backs down apologetically.
Wow, Yuuji. Didn't know you had the guts to say no to your girlfriend.
Whatever shall I do? I didn't bring a change of underwear with me today. You two really blow everything out of proportion. In any case, what brings you two here?
We're gonna have us a picnic. They're totally Sundara, right?
I don't quite follow your theory. As you can see, I packed us a lunch. Indicating the small bundle she's been carrying in her left hand, Sachi proceeds to untie the wrapping cloth and reveal the lunchbox within. In a tiered lunchbox, no less. Indeed, in accordance with Michiru-sama's request, I packed us a wide variety of traditional Japanese dishes.
On the other hand, it looks like you guys mainly pack sandwiches, huh?
Yes, my main objective was to do a bit of painting here, so I thought something that's easy to hold would be best.
Okay then, why don't we just eat together? I bet it would balance our meals out nicely.
That's true. I have to admit I'm a bit interested in Kumin-san's lunch.
Well, it seems to be going relatively well. For the time being. But, oh well. We did get a glimpse of it in the last episode, and it's not going to end well.
Oh, I've cut that. With the addition of our two classmates, the private lunch we've been planning abruptly evolves into a small gathering. As Sachi sets about unpacking her lunchbox, Michiru studies Yumiko's sandwiches and emits a strange grumbling sound. Is there some problem with the food I prepared, Matsushima-san?
Well, I only got one comment I could make, I guess.
And what would that be?
The food you made actually looks really tasty.
How exactly is that a problem?
Well, I thought your cooking was more like that miso soup, you know? That stuff even gave Sachi a stomachache, and she's the perfect maid.
Forget me, Michiru-sama. What about Kasame-san? Not only did he survive the war in the South Pacific, but some believe him to be a cyborg. I think it's far more remarkable that his stomach was upset.
Just for the record, Sachi, I wasn't even alive back then.
Huh?
Don't look at me with that blank confusion in your eyes. Almost makes me feel like I'm the one being ridiculous here.
Alright, you have a point. I can't deny I was responsible for that terrible incident. But this time I'm genuinely confident. Please, at least take a bite before you jump to any conclusions.
I see. Well, if you're that confident, I don't have any reason to hesitate.
Reaching down, I pick one of Yumiko's neatly packed sandwiches out of her lunchbox.
Wow, hold on a second, Yuuji.
Don't try to stop me, Michiru.
If you die, who's going to take care of Yumiko?
Look, I know I'm a bad cook, but I've never made anything fatal.
This time, I'll lead the charge.
What, Michiru?
Let me be the hero every once in a while. Why don't you?
Michiru-sama? Please stop ignoring me, everyone.
Sachi, if I don't come back, I want you to bury me on a hill overlooking the sea.
Of course, I won't forget your popsicle stick grave either.
Could you at least pile up some rocks or something?
You'd be satisfied with that, Michiru?
Oh. Her resolve apparently steeled, Michiru takes a deep breath and reaches for the sandwich.
Have mercy, Lord!
With a dramatic cry, she proceeds to jam one forcefully into her mouth. Well, your limbs aren't going numb, are they? A numbness of limbs? Are they laced with a neurotoxin of some sort then?
Whatever the case, it's probably going to take a little while longer before any obvious symptoms manifest themselves.
Matsushima-san?
Huh? It's just plain tasty.
Look here, if you thought it was good, then couldn't you react more normally?
You're the one who made it. I think it tasting good is actually kind of abnormal.
What? But, realizing that Michiru is actually making sense for once, Yumiko trips awkwardly over her own tongue.
Still, I know you started learning how to cook, but how do you get this good so quickly?
It's less that I improved and more that I chose my menu carefully.
Your menu?
Right.
For example, a basic sandwich just involves slicing up the ingredients and putting them between two slices of bread. It might look sloppy, but it won't taste terrible.
You really thought this through, huh?
Well, I was making a lunch for a very special date. I wanted to be absolutely sure you'd enjoy it.
Yumiko.
Hey, Sachi, maybe we should eat someplace else after all.
Perhaps so. At this rate, I think my heart may turn to coal.
Wait a moment.
Sachi and Michiru begin to stand up jokingly, but Yumiko hurries to stop them.
Since you're here, I'd be very happy if you'd give me a little advice on my cooking, Kamina-san. Certainly, it seems you're striving quite earnestly to improve yourself, Sakaki-san. I would be honored to offer up whatever assistance I can.
Answering with a courteous bow, Sachi proceeds to expressionlessly sample all of the food Yumiko made for today.
I see. I believe I've identified the major problem points.
Huh? Already?
Yes. First of all, regarding the sandwiches, you use too much mustard. Many commercial brands have a fairly strong flavor, so making some yourself might be preferable in this case. Making my own condiments, huh? Now then, moving on to the fried chicken. The coating was distributed rather unevenly here. You'll likely get better results if you place the meat in a Ziploc bag with the mix and thoroughly massage it. I didn't know about that trick. Additionally, it's easier for them to come out a bit dry in the end. Spraying a little water on the meat itself would produce more juicy results. Just a moment. Add a little water, right?
At this point, Yumiko reaches for the nearest available paper in order to jot down some notes. Hey Yumiko, that's... I briefly tried to intercede, but Michiru quietly shakes her head. The thing Yumiko's currently writing in isn't just some memo pad. It's the sketchbook she just purchased for the purpose of this painting expedition. At the moment, I think she's entirely forgotten about her plans for the rest of the afternoon.
Also, if you don't mind, I'd like to know how to make these fried eggs as well. You're quite discerning, Sakaki-san. This is actually a recipe I learned from Amane-san.
Hey, Yuuji, I'm going to make a little prediction about your future.
My future?
Yep, you made the right choice. Yumiko's going to be a fantastic wife. I guarantee it.
Sorry, but I already knew that.
Yeah. Guess you don't need me chiming in at this point, huh?
About 30 minutes after Yumiko started jotting down her notes, our little gathering completely transforms into an impromptu cooking class. We discuss tricks that we learned from books or cooking shows, the specialities of Mishima Cave's best restaurants, and express our expert opinions on the food in front of us. What with all the conversation, it takes quite a while to work through the meal itself, but I can't say I really mind.
Everything in Kamina-san's lunch was so carefully made, wasn't it?
Seems like seeing that spread lit a fire under you, Yumiko.
Yes, our discussion was quite helpful as well. She taught me about everything from the use of color to nutritional balance.
That's so.
Absolutely. Next time I make us a lunch, I'll make sure to put her advice to very good use.
Yumiko turns her sketchbook toward me to emphasize the point. By now, it's full of her cooking notes. Yeah, today's lunch was great, so I'm definitely looking forward to the next one.
Right. Incidentally, what time is it now?
About 6:30, I think.
Sounds about right. The sun's already starting to set.
Somehow or other, the afternoon just flew by, huh?
It certainly did. And I didn't manage to paint a single thing.
Realizing that her plans have been completely thrown off by a series of unfortunate coincidences, Yumiko abruptly sinks into a state of bitter dejection.
Yes, I see the problem now, but I don't have the means to overcome it, do I?
As I watch Yumiko mumbling sadly to herself, I find myself heaving yet another sigh. Not to sound like a broken record here, but I do understand how she feels. Today was supposed to be a date. Today was supposed to be a date where we could spend some time alone together. But in the end, we spent the better part of the day without much time to ourselves, and the primary objective, the art expedition, didn't really work out. Yumiko obviously laid out some fairly careful plans for the day, and they ended up going out the window. I can't blame her for feeling a little depressed about that.
Still, today's disruptions weren't all bad. In fact, they came with fairly large upsides, and she doesn't seem to be aware of that. It's honestly a bit frustrating to watch, considering the way she expressed her feelings to me on the rooftop yesterday. Yumiko doesn't realize what she truly wants. There are some things that matter more to her than spending time with me. Maybe it's my job to help her notice that. Well, want to give it a try? We can have us a getaway, go somewhere far away from our classmates and everyone else in this town. Huh? That's the best way to get what you want, right, Yumiko? What I want? I don't really want anything, except some time alone with you, Yuuji. Right, I know. In that case, how about somewhere around Nishishu? They've got nice hot springs in that area, and it's close enough that we could make it in a day trip. A hot springs trip with you? I'd be very happy if we could manage that, but don't you need permission from work just to leave the prefecture? Yep. In other words, it's not a problem as long as I get permission beforehand.
Then?
Yep. I'll submit an application for another day off right away. It's probably going to take a little while before it's approved, though. You okay with that?
Yes, I'll be patient.
If it means we can have a date with no interruptions, I'll wait as long. Oh, again, wrong voice.
They both start with Y and U, so it's like, it just clicks with me. Had it been anyone else, it would not have been a problem. If it means we can have a date with no interruptions, I'll wait as long as it takes.
And we shall see about that in the next episode. So, despite the episode before this being rather gloomy and saying that the date was an absolute disaster, it went pretty well. Sure, they didn't get to spend time together alone, but they did manage to have a good time with their friends. And as Yuuji might point out, that may be what Yumiko secretly wants, without knowing it herself. Well, that's it for this episode, so until next time, take care.